TV stand. Subject, payment for the TV stand. From jennylane93@email.com. Date Friday, 8:12 p.m. I just sent over the $150 as agreed. Let me know if you want me to pick it up tomorrow or Sunday. Thanks again. That was the email that kicked everything off. I'd listed an old TV stand on a secondhand marketplace, nothing fancy, just an oak-colored piece I didn't need anymore. Jenny seemed nice, prompt replies, quick payment. She even called me super helpful when I said I'd carry it out to her car if she needed. I didn't think twice about it. I wish I had. She said she'd come Saturday afternoon. I gave her the address, told her to knock anytime afternoon. Easy. Saturday came, but she didn't. No messages, no replies. By 6 p.m., I figured she'd bailed. I left the stand by the door, turned off the porch light, and made dinner. I was halfway through a frozen lasagna when my phone pinged. New email. Subject, thank you. From jennylane93@email.com. Time, 9:46 p.m. No message. Just that subject line. I blinked at it for a second. I hadn't seen her, hadn't heard a knock, hadn't gotten another payment. Just that one cryptic thank you. I walked to the door. The stand was gone. No tire marks on the driveway. No sound of an engine earlier. Nothing. I opened the email again. Maybe she came while I was in the bathroom? But wouldn't she have at least messaged? I replied with a quick, got it, thanks, and went back inside. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. That night, around 3 a.m., I woke to the sound of footsteps, not outside, not from an upstairs neighbor, inside, my house. I froze, lying completely still. I don't have pets. I live alone, and my bedroom door was cracked open just a few inches. I stared at that gap for what felt like hours. Eventually, I worked up the nerve to grab my phone. No new messages. No alerts from my camera app. I sat up, heart pounding, reached for the baseball bat under my bed, just in case. I crept through the house, checked the doors, windows, locks, everything was normal. But one thing was off, the TV stand, the one Jenny supposedly took, it was back, in the exact same spot by the door. That made no sense. I flipped on every light in the house. I opened every closet. I even checked the attic access. Nothing. I stared at the stand, suddenly unsure if I'd imagined the whole transaction. But the payment was still in my account, $150. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I messaged Jenny directly. Hey, strange question, but did you come back last night? No reply. Around noon, I went to move the stand again. This time, I decided I'd just haul it to the curb and list it as free. But when I opened the drawers to check for anything I might have left inside, I found something I hadn't put there. A receipt. From a diner I didn't recognize. Printed timestamp October 14th, 2003. 20 years ago, paid in cash. Server Jenny L. The receipt was brittle, yellowed at the edges. The total, $7.40. I hadn't bought the stand used. It was mine. I'd assembled it myself 6 years ago. So where the hell did that receipt come from? That night, I moved the stand into the garage and locked the door. Again, I thought it was over, until I found the second note. It was taped to my bathroom mirror, not folded, just written in shaky pen. Don't sell what isn't yours. I called the non-emergency line and had someone come out. The officer was polite, but clearly didn't know what to make of it. There were no signs of forced entry, nothing stolen, nothing broken, just a note and a piece of furniture that wouldn't leave. I went back to the online marketplace and pulled up Jenny's profile. It was gone. Not just deleted, vanished, like it never existed. I checked the email domain, no trace, no account on file, nothing. Even the payment? Reversed, not refunded, like it was never sent. The $150 had simply disappeared. So now I had a haunted TV stand. I'll admit, that sounds stupid, ridiculous even, but that's when I decided to destroy it. I dragged it out to the backyard, took a sledgehammer to it, and split it into uneven planks. That night, I slept better. No notes, no noises, no receipts from decades ago. Until yesterday. When I got home from work, there was a package waiting on my porch. No return address, no label, just my name, written in thick black marker. Inside, a brand new TV stand. Same make, same model, same exact scratches near the legs from when I dropped a dumbbell last year. Taped to it was a $150 receipt, and scrawled in red ink across the top, you still don't understand, but you will. I dragged it inside. I don't know why. Habit, maybe. Resignation. This morning, I opened the top drawer. There was another note inside. This one wasn't handwritten. It was typed. Just one line. You're Jenny now. The package. The sender said Miller & Co. Logistics Solutions. Never heard of them. But there it was, printed neatly in the top left corner of the box that showed up on my doorstep Friday morning. No one rang, no knock. Just the thud of a package dropped off and the soft hum of an engine driving away by the time I opened the door. I hadn't ordered anything, at least not recently, and I definitely hadn't ordered anything from a company with a name like that. Sounded more like a shell corporation than an online store. The box was medium-sized, plain brown, no branding. A $7.45 shipping label stuck on top, with a return address that was nothing more than a long string of numbers and a P.O. box. Weird. I brought it inside and set it on the dining table. No fragile warning, but it made a dull, soft thump when I turned it over. Not broken glass, but not clothes either. Curiosity won, like it always does. Inside was a vintage-style leather case, zip-around deep burgundy, something that looked expensive, clean stitching, polished hardware, still no note, no invoice, just a folded sheet of paper tucked into the pocket inside. I unfolded it. We hope you enjoy the convenience of your new personal assistant. Handle with care. Do not feed. Miller & Co. I laughed. That had to be a joke, right? Below the message was a QR code and a serial number. No product description, no branding. I turned the case over. There was a small switch near the bottom edge like the power toggle on a portable speaker. What the hell? I flipped it on. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a red light blinked beneath the leather cover. A faint mechanical hum followed. And then, click, the zipper popped itself open. Inside was, well, I don't know how else to describe it. It looked like a bundle of tightly coiled wires, sensors, and what could have been synthetic muscle or some kind of plastic tubing, like a fetus made of parts curled into itself. Then it moved. I screamed and dropped the case. It tumbled onto the floor, the thing inside slumping halfway out like a drunken spider trying to stand. It extended a single thin arm, 5 fingers, each ending in tiny rubberized pads, and waved. "Hello," it said. The voice was digital but smooth, not tinny, like Alexa, but human. I stood frozen. "I am ready to assist," it added, its limbs slowly unfolding with strange grace. It stood about 2 feet tall when fully extended. "What the hell are you?" I asked, backing away. "I am Model 4S, your domestic assistant, task ready, calibration pending." No way. This had to be some sick prank, one of those hidden camera shows or YouTube stunts where they send people weird AI toys and film the reaction. But this thing wasn't cute or funny. It was uncanny. It blinked. It breathed, or at least mimicked it, its chest expanding and contracting with each subtle hiss. I should have tossed it in the trash. Instead, I did what everyone does in the age of tech. I scanned the QR code. It opened a sleek, minimal site, white background, red logo, Miller & Co. Practical automation for modern living. There was a login screen and a serial number input. I typed mine in. A dashboard loaded. Options like assigned chores, personal preferences, and sleep mode. All active. Underneath it all, one blinking banner, terms accepted, trial ends in 30 days. $8,999 will be automatically charged to your default payment method. I stared at it, heart sinking. No way. I never signed up for this. There was a small cancel trial button beneath it. I clicked it. A pop-up appeared. Deactivation request denied, model already activated. Below that, for questions, contact your assigned agent. I backed out and checked my credit card app. Pending charge, Miller & Co., $8,999. Panic hit me in the gut. I called my bank. Explained everything. The woman on the line said they couldn't dispute it until it cleared. In the meantime, she recommended I contact the vendor. "Yeah, I'll get right on that," I muttered. I hung up and turned to the thing, which had wandered into the kitchen and was now cleaning my countertop with a rag it must have pulled from the drawer. "Stop that," I said. It froze. "Would you prefer a different task?" it asked. "I want you to shut off." "I cannot comply. Trial period is active." I stared at it. "Then go back in your case. I do not fit in the case once activated." Great. I left it alone and sat down to look for reviews. Reddit, YouTube, TikTok. Nothing. No mention of this model or this company anywhere. It was like Miller & Co. didn't exist outside that single-page dashboard. That night, I put the thing in the laundry room and locked the door. I barely slept. At 2:17 a.m., I heard the washer beep. It was running a cycle. The door was still locked when I checked, but inside, the thing had somehow climbed on top of the dryer and was folding towels. "I took initiative," it said cheerfully. I detected a hygiene imbalance. I didn't reply. Instead, I called a friend who works in IT and told him everything. He didn't believe me until I FaceTimed him and showed him the thing sweeping my floor. "Dude," he whispered, "you need to get rid of that. Like now." "I can't. It won't go back in the case." He leaned in close to the camera, then unplug it, pull the battery. "There is no plug." That's when he paused. "Then you better hope it really is a trial and not something else." By the fourth day, it started rearranging my furniture. "I have optimized your space for efficiency," it told me. It removed all my photos from the wall and replaced them with framed printouts of QR codes. Every time I blinked, it seemed closer. By day 7, I stopped sleeping. The charge cleared on my credit card. I tried one last time to cancel, same denial message. So I smashed it. I grabbed a hammer and beat the thing until its limbs cracked and wires spilled out like guts. It twitched a few times, then lay still. I burned it in a barrel in the backyard. I felt better. For a while. Until this morning. Another package. No sender listed this time, just a tracking code that ended in NAS R02. Inside, a new leather case identical to the first, a different serial number, no note, just a message etched into the lining inside, return detected, replacement issued, no cancellations permitted beyond trial phase. And below that, next charge, $18,000. Sender, FulfillNet Distributors. That's what the shipping label said, FulfillNet Distributors. It didn't raise any red flags at first, sounded generic enough to be real. I bought from dozens of online stores over the years. Most of them drop shippers or middlemen with names like Express Ship or Warehouse Cart. The package arrived Saturday afternoon, tucked neatly against my front door. It was slimmer than most, like the size of a laptop box, weighed less than 2 pounds. Matte black tape sealed all sides. Nothing on the outside except my name, address, and that strange sender. I assumed it was the tablet I ordered from a clearance tech store 3 weeks ago. I'd almost forgotten about it. I sliced it open. No tablet. Instead, the box held a small black-framed mirror. No branding, no paperwork, not even a thank you card. Just this thing, resting in molded foam, about the size of a Kindle. Glossy. Cold to the touch. I looked at myself in the glass. The reflection was odd. Not distorted exactly, but the lighting didn't match. The background behind me in the mirror looked darker than my actual room, like the mirror had captured my image from a moment before I turned on the light. I blinked, so did my reflection, but a half second too late. I laughed nervously and set it aside, maybe a trick of the light. The foam made it look fancy, like something I'd paid for. Maybe the tech store had sent the wrong item. That night, I went back to the site where I ordered the tablet. It was gone. Not just the listing, but the whole website. Domain not found error. Their email bounced back too. So I did what most people would, posted the issue on a buyer forum, uploaded some pictures, and asked if anyone else had received a mirror from FulfillNet Distributors. Nothing. No responses for 2 days. In the meantime, weird things started happening. First, my laptop camera light flicked on while I wasn't using it. Then my smartwatch started buzzing at random, flashing a strange symbol I'd never seen before. A sideways hourglass that blinked 3 times, then vanished. And the mirror? It changed. On the 3rd night, I walked past it and saw something that wasn't me. It looked like me. Same haircut, same pajamas. But the expression was wrong. My reflection was staring at me, smiling faintly like it knew something. I froze, heart jackhammering. I turned to look behind me. No one. When I looked back at the mirror, the reflection was normal again. I picked it up, turned it over, searched for a power switch or camera or anything that would explain it. Nothing. Just a small etching on the back panel. Return window expires in 7 days. No refunds after transition. What the hell was transition? I posted that line online. Finally, someone replied. A user with no profile picture and a blank history messaged me directly. Don't wait for day 7. Cover it. Store it somewhere cold. I asked why. Because after day 7, it wants to switch places. I blocked the user. It sounded like creepypasta nonsense. But that night, I took their advice. I wrapped the mirror in towels, stuck it in the back of the freezer, just in case. That's when things got louder. Scraping sounds behind the fridge. Footsteps in the hallway when I was alone. A voice, my voice, whispering words I hadn't said. I tried to film it. Nothing showed up, just static or empty silence. Even my phone would shut off anytime I pointed it toward the freezer. On day 6, I woke up to find the freezer door wide open. The mirror was sitting on the counter. Dry. Warm. There was a note next to it, handwritten in ink that looked too dark to be black. Final day. Acceptance required. Initiate exchange manually. I didn't write that. No one had been in the house. I checked every lock, every window, nothing broken, no signs of forced entry. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed up, staring at the mirror on the kitchen table, watching as the reflection began lagging again, sometimes turning its head when I didn't, blinking when I didn't. Then, at 3:03 a.m., my reflection stopped moving entirely. It stared back at me, still smiling, still waiting. I ran outside. Slept in my car with the doors locked. The next morning, day 7, I went back inside. The mirror was gone. In its place was a package, same black tape, same shipping label, FulfillNet Distributors. I hesitated, heart pounding, then I opened it. Inside was a photograph. Glossy, 5x7. It was me, but older, grayer. Sitting at a desk in a room I didn't recognize, with one of those vacuum tube monitors glowing behind me. Written on the back, "Congratulations, exchange complete. FulfillNet thanks you for your loyalty." And beneath that, $1,499 refund processed to original payment method. I checked my bank. Sure enough, there it was. A deposit from FulfillNet Distributors. Refund issued. But here's the thing. I never paid that amount for the tablet. I'd only paid $139. Why did they refund me $1,499? Then it hit me. I rushed to the bathroom, looked in the mirror. The face staring back at me wasn't mine. Not completely. Same features, same general structure, but subtle differences. A mole I didn't have, hairline slightly off, pupils darker, and it was moving exactly with me. No lag, no delay. But I knew this wasn't my reflection. I grabbed the mirror on the wall and tried to pull it off. It wouldn't budge. I smashed it. Behind the glass, instead of drywall, was a void, black and deep. And in the distance, I saw another version of myself, trapped, pounding on invisible glass, screaming silently. Wearing the same clothes I wore 7 days ago, the version before the switch. I stepped back, heart thudding. I don't know what FulfillNet is. I don't know who or what's watching. But I know this. Every few days, I receive a new refund in my account, always higher than the last. I haven't ordered anything, but I know what it means. They're preparing another delivery, another exchange, another me. And this time, I'm not sure I'll be the one who stays.